So what's the deal with your musical journey? Like, how did all this start? What did you start playing guitar? Is that?
Yeah, I played like piano as a kid or like recorder as a kid, the way kids do. And then I played, like bass clarinet in middle school and high school.
Okay.
But like that was all kind of structured like educational stuff. I think personally,
like in school.
Yeah, exactly. This is probably the journey for like 99% of men out there. Is I picked up guitar in high school.
Oh, you're speaking for all men now.
I'm speaking for all men.
He doesn't want to speak for the whole band, but for all men,
all
yes,
men.
Yes.
No. But like I picked up guitar in high school and I played it and I was into it.
Oh yeah.
And then when I realized girls didn't really care, I kind of stopped.
Wait. Is it true that girls don't care?
Not in my experience.
That you play guitar?
It was not enough to push the needle for me.
Wow.
Let me put it that way.
I'm so glad nobody
maybe
told
for
me
other
that.
people.
I'm so glad I didn't know that when I got into it, because maybe I wouldn't have got into it.
Right.
Although I didn't learn how to play guitar anyway. So. Girls don't give a shit.
They don't
play
care.
Guitar.
They don't care. Maybe they care now. They didn't then.
Oh, that's funny. So in high school, you were like, let me play guitar.
Right. I'm going to be like a rocker guy. I'm going to have long hair. I had long hair then, and then I didn't, and now I do again.
Now you do
right?
again.
So that's really the evolution here. But, I'm going to play all these cool songs.
Yeah.
And that was just nothing really came of that.
Yeah,
And, I went to college, and I like brought my big, bulky acoustic guitar with me to my freshman dorm, put it in the closet, stay there the whole year, and so this guitar was just kind of, I never quite got rid of it, and I'd play it every once in a while, but it really wasn't until COVID, until like the lockdown happened, and I don't know if you remember, everyone was like baking bread, everyone was like making like yeast sourdough starters. Do you remember that?
I thought you were going to be like, I don't know if you remember, but everybody was like drinking alcohol and playing video games.
Right. But
like,
also,
everybody was making bread.
Everyone was making bread. That's what I remember. And I didn't want to do that, basically.
Fair enough.
Okay, what else can I
do? Casey's like, everybody's baking bread.
Everyone's
I was like,
baking
fuck
bread.
that. Oh, that's funny.
And so I basically I picked up the guitar out of under my bed, and I was like, oh, I haven't played guitar in forever, and like it really just clicked that second time around.
Wow.
And I think one of the things when I was younger and I was playing music is I was never really able to write music. I really wanted to. It was something that I was really eager to do, but it just never materialized in a way that was satisfying.
Why do you think
for me.
that was? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, you can psychoanalyze it, right? Like,
well, not like so much as a psychoanalyze, but what do you felt like you had trouble with? Was it like just coming up with ideas or lyrics? Or
lyrics. I mean, I'm a big lyric guy when I listen to music. That's like my favorite thing to listen for. That's kind of the things that I value most when I listen to music. Okay. And I think it was just this where I wanted to be, and what I was putting out was just not there. And it was. Not embarrassing. It was embarrassing in the sense that I was like 15 years old, But
like maybe like a self-induced writer's block where you felt like it wasn't good enough.
Right.
That's why you weren't.
Yeah.
I realized just now I wasn't speaking close enough to the mic.
Yeah, we got to get in.
DIY guys, okay? Wow, so you felt like it wasn't up to par.
Right.
And then you bring out the guitar during the lockdowns, right?
Exactly.
And then
it just clicked. I started playing music, and I just started playing random songs that I liked, but I started writing music, and writing music like very prolifically. I wrote like 5 or 6 songs that like first month I was like relearning how to play guitar.
Wow.
All of them terrible. You'll never hear them ever. But they were written and they were like complete songs, and they were.
Why do you think this time was different?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I don't have a clean answer for that. I mean, I was older. I was a little more mature. Hopefully, a little more well read after 8 years of education.
That's true. What did you study in school, by the way?
I studied communications.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So hopefully that's relevant, related.
Maybe you could communicate.
Right. Exactly.
Do you think it was like, hey, I feel like what I'm writing now I think is worthy of being written down, or did you think maybe you were just like, I'm caring less about whether this product is perfect or not?
It's definitely both.
Okay.
I think caring was a lot. Being like less self-conscious of making music, or even just like accepting the fact that like I'm gonna put out music. It'll have lyrics that are if they're personal, then they're personal. And people are gonna react to that, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So that started. And I wrote, I went through the first, and I think another big obstacle was like in the back of my mind. And you hear this advice, I think, a lot when you're like, if you're starting to write music, if you're starting to do anything, like the first few times you do it, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no.
the first song you write is gonna be bad. The first piece of bread you bake is gonna be bad.
Or back to the bread again.
Right. Yeah. It's all related.
It's all about
related.
bread at the end of the day.
It's our most essential food.
That's right.
And so that was kind of a mental block for me, where I was like, I don't want to write a song that's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't have to be. I mean, it was, but it doesn't have to be. People can write good songs.
No, it's true. Yeah.
And so, after that first batch was done, I kept going and I wrote another, 5 or 6 songs, and they were like, and I was like, oh, this isn't like I would share this with somebody, right? And the other big thing is like I'm not like a trained singer or anything like that. I really enjoy doing it, but lots to learn there, even now especially.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that's when I started writing and like recording in my bedroom, with my laptop.
Yeah.
Very DIY kind of thing. Sending it to some guy on Fiverr to mix.
Oh, no way.
Kind of like total. Yeah.
Wow.
DIY thing. And then that's when I put out what was called Grim Winter at the time. This is EP, this collection of 4 or 5 songs that I had written during COVID.
Oh wow.
So that's how it started for me.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and this was all during the lockdowns.
Yeah. This was like the
that
year and a half.
First 5 or 6 songs that you had, and you had got them like mixed on Fiverr and stuff.
Yeah.
And that was you singing on there.
Yep. Yeah.
No way.
I was recording in my apartment in Boston or my parents' house when I moved back home. Towels on the shower curtain in the door to like muffle the sound.
Yeah.
Although in hindsight, I probably didn't need to. It was going to come out pretty bad anyway. I didn't need to care that much.
No, I know what you mean. In my early days of like recording audio and voice stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I have to dampen it perfect. And it's
right.
Trust me, it's not going to be good anyway.
So don't worry about
Don't worry about that shit. Just do it. Yeah. But do it.
Yeah,
right.
No, do it for sure.
Wait, sorry. This is a side note. So you're originally from Boston?
I'm from Maryland.
Oh, okay.
I'm from the area, and then I went to school in Boston.
Got it.
And I was up there afterwards. I was working there.
Oh, okay.
And then, the lockdown happened. I moved back home.
I see.
And
okay.
then I moved to DC. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, sorry. So back.
No.
So you made this 5-song like sort of EP, and you released it under the Grim Winter name.
Right. Yeah. That was
got it.
the name of the EP. It was, it was a pun because I wrote all the songs during that kind of winter of lockdown, and then a lot of them were like weird, like mythological songs.
Very cool.
Just because I'm a nerd and I like writing about stuff, weird stuff.
Yeah. Like fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
fantasy, like Greek myth. I think there was
very
there was
cool.
a Greek myth one. There was like a Japanese myth one.
Oh, very
There was
cool.
Like and so I think that was also a little liberating, is that I could kind of make music through the lens of this mythology, right? This story. A myth, right? A myth is just like a story that has like survived the test of time. It's a story that is so foundational or poignant into the human experience that it keeps going. People keep telling it. People keep retelling it and reinterpreting it. And so getting to like, hitch my wagon, so to speak, onto that was very I don't want to say it gave me cover, like a shield, but it was a way for me to step into songwriting.
That's a really cool thing because I studied theater in college, we learned a lot about Greek and Roman myths are huge in the theater world, right?
Right.
Greek and Roman theater was like a big thing, right? So it's funny, like that's such an interesting idea. I never thought about that, like kind of getting inspiration from some of these classic stories,
right?
We're probably influenced by them whether we know we are or not.
Oh,
actually.
absolutely.
Especially like in our Western civilization.
100%. Yeah.
These like, wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
But like you're kind of overtly doing this. So as sort of someone who's writing vocal melodies and guitar, maybe not riffs or maybe riffs, but like guitar chords and stuff.
Yeah.
Are like, where do you find your ideas for songs usually coming from? Is it an idea? Is it a concept? Is it a chord progression? What is it? Where do you... Now, I know every song's different, and you probably had all versions of those, but where do you feel like, oh man, it usually comes to this first?
Sure. Most commonly is probably lyric a lyric
Wow.
or a melody.
Wow.
Like a line, usually both, right? A line that has kind of a melody to it that I find interesting. And I'll do like almost like a verse or a whole chorus of lyrics and melody with no chords, no anything.
way.
And then I go back and I find them.
No music even.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you write poetry too?
Yeah, a little bit. Not like a published kind of thing.
Sure.
My writing style is like kind of a spaghetti at the wall approach.
Sure.
Right, where I'll overwrite. Like if a song has 20 lines in it, I'll have probably written like 50 or 60 lines for the song.
Yeah.
Because it's just easier to edit.
Wow. I think this is actually a really great thing to kind of pause and touch on because I really do think that rewriting and kind of cutting back is like you want to throw all your ideas at the wall. You want to uncensor yourself, right?
Sure.
Completely. Kind of like maybe, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like maybe as a kid you were maybe censoring yourself too much.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like as you got older, it sounds like you cared less, right?
Yeah.
And so now you're throwing more shit at the wall. And it's like, I know a lot of this is garbage, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cross out all the excess and then like there's a good idea in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's, dude, I think that's really important because I think a lot of us get writer's block because we want it to be perfect on the first go.
Sure.
And I just think that's a terrible idea. I think that's how songs don't get written.
100%. Yeah.
So this is fascinating though, because like you picked up the guitar. So you kind of, I guess this is a question for you. When your desire to pick up the guitar and play music, was this coming from a desire to like write songs and kind of sing them and play them? Or was it an interest in the music? Like where... Well, I mean, the girls, obviously.
Obviously. It all goes back to them and the bread.
And the bread. Oh, that's funny.
I think like always, even when I wasn't playing music, I was interested in the idea of being, a songwriter. I've always listened to a lot of music, and the people I've always been drawn to have been like really powerful lyricists and songwriters. Usually lyricists and songwriters first, musicians second.
Wow.
In a way.
Oh, that's cool.
Like one of my heroes. I mean, he's still the greatest. Is Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like in my opinion, a really, really powerful lyricist.
Sure.
Not the best singer, right? Certainly not live or anything like that. There's some story floating around of his talking about how he was like 15 or 16 years old and he got a gig at a bar doing like just a solo acoustic set at a bar.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he's a total teenager, like has never done this before.
Yeah.
Sets up, starts playing his music, starts singing, starts doing his thing, and like after 2 or 3 songs, the bartender cuts him off. He like cuts off his sound and he like calls him over and he gives him like $50 and he's like, okay, you're done. Like,
oh shit!
Get
out.
Which like if that happened to me,
oh my god,
I would never pick up a guitar ever again.
Oh yeah, Oh my god.
But he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And now look at him. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of person I really admire.
Dude, there's something to be said for like maybe it's a cliche because I think we say it a lot, like, hey, don't give a shit what anybody thinks.
Sure.
And I get, obviously it's a cliche for a reason. And I don't know. But I feel like that can be misinterpreted. Like I think I feel like people interpret that as like, oh, put on a false bravado or something like that.
Right.
Where it's like not giving a shit means like when people have you dead to rights, you kind of like have to accept that and just be like okay with it, but I'm still going to move forward type of a thing. As opposed to like, oh, like I think there is a part of it where you, like him, for instance, I mean, because he's clearly a successful musician and he's clearly talented at his craft, right? Talented songwriter. I mean, I never thought his voice was that bad. I never listened to a ton of Blink-182, but anyway, I digress. Clearly, he made it work.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he didn't ask himself, what do I need to do better, right?
Right.
Because there's one way you could just be like, hey, I'm never going to pick up a guitar again, which is probably what I would do, right? What you would do, what I would do. Be like, oh my God. Secondly, you just be like, well, fuck that guy. He doesn't know me.
Right.
And then thirdly, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Because like clearly he's probably better than that kid.
Right.
like that he was.
Oh, sure.
A long time ago.
He's definitely
right?
he's gotten better.
So I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's a cool story.
I think the thing about what you're saying about like don't you gotta fake it till you make it kind of thing is and this is like bad. I always hedge my bets when it comes to advice because I am personally of the opinion that every piece of advice that is like incredibly important to somebody's like development, there is also someone out there who needs the exact opposite piece of that advice.
Yeah.
So it's like the person who needs to know something, it could be the wrong person.
Well, you have the mic, so it's your universe. We're just living in it right now. So all your advice is gospel truth.
Ignore what everyone else says all the time. They don't know anything
until the cameras go off. Wait, what is that advice? Were we already talking about it, or were you going to say something?
I'm talking about advice in general.
Oh, I see.
That's why I don't like to give out advice.
I see.
Because it just could be the wrong thing to the wrong person.
Okay, so where are you at in this journey now? You've written songs, you're a songwriter, and songwriting is kind of like one of your chief sort of drives and interests.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is being a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is interesting now. So there's a couple different ways we can go with this. What about unfortunately, we are going to have to dip into a little bit of grim winter history here.
No, absolutely not. That's not unfortunate.
Casey didn't want to talk about the band at all, Clay. He was like, no.
I didn't want to say anything on behalf of the band without the band present.
He's trying to speak for you guys and give advice on behalf of you guys.
Exactly.
No. So I'm assuming then. So grim winter came after this lockdown period thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So I met Clay and Andrew very shortly after.
Got it.
Having moved back into DC. They were both working as music teachers at the time, so they knew each other through them.
How did you meet them?
I met Clay through a friend. My friend went to college with his friend, so we all ended up at a party together.
Oh, nice.
Like a backyard. It was there's like 8 people, so there's like a finite number of people I could talk to.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's when we met, and he was like, I've written a bunch of songs. I was like, oh, I've written a bunch of songs, and we've kind of we met Andrew. Andrew's like, oh, I've written a bunch of songs.
Oh, wow.
And amazingly, none of us were in an active band at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it was very serendipitous that we were able to just start playing, and we had access to the music school. To play in after the practice, all their scheduled lessons had closed, and then. I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna just start we should play, right? I'm sure there are venues in DC. And I think, I did some embarrassing stuff in the beginning, learning how to try to book. I think I sent out a bunch of emails to venues that were way too big for us. In the beginning, just being like, hey, we're and you send out these emails, and I don't know about you, but every time I send a booking email, it gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah,
and I think eventually I'm going to send a booking email that's 3 bullet points. It's not even going to have my name.
It's just a sentence.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to have the dates, crowd size, ticket price.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
And then 3 question marks sent from my iPhone, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I would send these awful flowery emails to these venues.
Sure. Yeah.
And they would they wouldn't respond, of course.
Yeah.
But eventually we heard back from The Pocket, 7 Drum City.
No way. Cool.
Shout out to them. Incredible venue in DC. And super welcoming to new people.
And that was the first. Was that the first gig that you ever played?
Yeah. Oh, ever.
No
yeah,
way.
ever.
Did you guys do an open mic before that?
We had done. So I had done. We did a block party, I think.
Oh, okay.
That my neighborhood was putting on.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is cool,
Yeah.
definitely. But that was my first show, right?
Yeah.
Paid show. I mean, it was still a lot of friends and family. I think a lot of that's what you do in your band for the first time.
Oh,
you play
yeah.
a show.
100%.
You invite everyone you know.
Yeah.
And they all show up to the first show.
I know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, and they just took off from there, and it was okay, now we're gonna play. It was kind of and okay. So this is I feel like these are the canon events that every band goes through, right?
Okay.
Which is you play your first gig, that you promo the hell out of, and it's super exciting, and I think we sold it out or came close to solding out The Pocket, which is 70 people, which is great, but we were super excited, wow, we're a real band, and we're gonna start booking, and so there was a 6-month period after that where you just say yes to everything. Right, you start playing as many shows as you can, and you're the more shows we play, the more people we're gonna be exposed to, and it's just gonna snowball from there.
Yeah.
And then 6 months in, you're playing at the Pocket again in front of like 6 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was a bit of an adjustment, and I think a lot of that has to do with just like the way people experience music, right?
Yeah.
Which is like they don't experience live music the way they used to because everyone can listen to anything they want at any point on their phones.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just like the culture of, and I'm not saying this as a judgment statement, it's just a fact, right? Is that the culture of going out and seeing live music, at least in the area we live in, is not as robust as it used to be.
Sure. Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, now what? Right? Like we're playing shows and like we can't really get people to go out and you know, when you're a band, you're playing shows, you're also trying to write music, you're also trying to record music, right? And so that's where we're like, okay, we gotta record some stuff.
Yeah.
So Andrew knew this, his dad knew this person who has a studio out in Georgetown that was really, first of all, we got a very good deal. We got a deal that we were not allowed to tell anyone else we got.
Yes.
Because he was not allowed to give it.
Yes.
It was still wildly expensive for us.
Sure, of course. Hey, yeah, musicians don't have any money.
Right, exactly.
That's why musicians always do it for the girls and not for the money.
Exactly.
And then you don't get either.
You don't get either. No.
That's funny.
And so we spent a ton of money recording the Sojourn EP, right? Which was I think 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of songs I had written, Clay had written, Andrew had written. And we recorded that. It was super cool. It was super fun. You know, we got our taste of real recording experience there.
Yeah.
I'll also say I'm the only one in that group that does not have like formal music education.
Yeah.
Which is always a bit daunting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still, you know, I'm like chords and theories and stuff like that. There's this very reassuring clip I saw out there of like Dave Grohl, you know, playing some song. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is a song I wrote," and then I play this chord. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Like,
nice. Thank you, Dave Grohl.
Yeah, exactly. So if he can do it, you know, I can't feel that bad, right?
Yeah. Wait, so you were completely self-taught as a guitarist?
I had lessons.
Okay.
And you know, I did like band in school, so like, you know, I know like treble clef.
Yeah.
You know, I know what bass clef and treble clef are.
That's right.
I know C major has no sharps or flats, and the rest do, and I don't know what any of the other ones are.
Excuse me. I know what a staff is.
Right.
I know what notes are. Excuse me.
There's like, you got 4/4, you got 3/4.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 time signatures.
Well, yeah, you'd be surprised at like the shit that sticks in your head from like learning music as a kid that like I don't know. I can imagine if we learned these things later in life, we would be like, oh wait, what is that called again? But it's just like, that's just automatic vocabulary. So I'm sure that shit helped you later on.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it just like, you know, I never studied it at like an academic level or a collegiate level.
What was the most exciting thing about your first studio, professional studio experience?
Oh man. I mean the toys. You know, all the equipment, all the guitars. Like, you know, we again, this was like a really, really nice studio, and it was also still being built. So we got to go in a little early. But you know, I've pretty much played the exact same guitar for the last like 15 years. You know, which my dad got me.
It's a what?
It's a Telecaster. Oh, thank you.
Nice. You're welcome. I just learned what that was a few months ago, honestly. When Nick came on, I was like, please explain to me about guitars.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, right? I don't know anything about music theory. I don't know anything about music equipment. And
he's in a band, guys.
And I'm in a band.
There we go.
You can do it too. Apparently, there's no barrier. No one's going to stop you.
There's no barrier to being in a band. Oh, man.
But yeah, so he had like you know, a dozen guitars, and he's like, oh, this one's good for this tone, and like you should use this, and like this is kind of the sound of what you're going for.
Yeah.
And so being in the hands of like a much more experienced like professional who was able to kind of tell you like, you know, stand here and play this. It was really great. And then it's like he's like, this is what it sounds like. It's like, wow, that's exactly what I wanted it to sound like.
Wow. And so he was really kind of helping guide you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, I find that helpful when you're working with a sound engineer that wants to give you feedback.
Yeah.
Which might sound weird because I know a lot of us are really protective of our music.
Right.
Excuse me, but it's like if he has a good idea, like I kind of want to hear it honestly, because like if they come up with something that I wouldn't have thought of and it sounds really good, it's like, That's awesome,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
So,
Yeah, and so and this is the second phase of being in a band, right?
Yeah.
You play a bunch of shows, people stop showing up to shows, so you start recording a bunch of music. You release the music, and you get your people to listen to it, but you don't end up on the Spotify hot
right.
artist of the month radar, or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, the Discover New,
yeah.
And so you're like, okay, how do you promote music? And then you fall down the rabbit hole of like playlist pitching.
Yeah.
You go to the what's it called? The like music playlist website. I can't remember what it's called. But like where you're like, oh, it's not, you're not paying to have your music on here, but you're paying for consideration. So you pay these playlisters like $2 or $3 to listen to your music with no guarantee that they're gonna put it on your playlist.
Yeah.
And there are those, and then there are like the guys that are like, oh, for $40, we'll guarantee you 1,000 streams. No bots. We promise. And I don't know exactly how they work, but they are not delivering you to an eager and ready audience of new listeners that are like hip young kids that determine the culture of the way things are going. So you do that and you get really excited because you're getting a ton of streams.
Sure, yeah.
You're even getting like engagements, you're getting saves, you're getting follows. But the second you stop paying that money, they disappear, right? And I feel like, again, it's something you have to learn how to do. Like I now where I am, like would never pay for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it works. It didn't work for us. It's not like the thing that like I am always thinking about now is like, how do we get organic engagements? How do you
find your fans
in an age where people are not going to shows, people are able to just listen to whatever they want and are the main, I guess, tool of engagement, I would say social media, right? Your TikTok, your Instagram, like that is like a never ending stream of content, right? So how do you not end up, and I don't know if you do this. I'm super guilty of this, where I'll just like, it's called brain rotting. The kids are calling it brain rot. Where you just doom scroll on your phone for an hour, and I'm watching these things for an hour, and some of them are funny, and I'm saving some, I'm sending some to my friends, whatever. But at the end of the hour, if someone's like, Casey, what did you watch? I couldn't name a single thing.
It's so true.
I couldn't name a single thing that I
scary.
saw.
Yeah. I think that is scary. Honestly, though, legitimately, I think that is scarier than any of the fantasy shit they come up with AI, honestly.
Right.
Like, I don't want my brain to become like a machine.
I have to make like a conscious effort to not like to be cognitively engaged, nowadays.
No. Well, in general.
Yeah.
Hey, just to make yourself feel a little bit better, because obviously this is a very real problem. Right. This is a very real problem.
And it's somehow about music. We'll get back to it.
But I mean, dude, like monks in medieval times and like in the Western tradition and in the Eastern tradition, I'm sure you're aware of this if you know anything about myths, but like trying to practice attention, right? So it's like
mindfulness and
people were struggling with this before technology too. So
right.
we can't like, lash ourselves on the back too hard.
Sure,
but still like an hour of like doom scrolling, like it'll happen without even like, if you're not like trying to like tear yourself from that shit, it can be. And it's fascinating because what you're bringing up is like when you're talking about promoting your own music, obviously Reels and social media is a powerful tool, right?
Yeah, totally.
But then there is this side of it where it's like, okay, let's say you do have a Reel that goes viral.
Right.
Are people liking that because it's entertaining, or do they like the song?
I'm saying we can talk about this for as long as you like, because I'm maybe this is because of my background in communications, but I'm very fascinated by this, right? By this subject of like what makes something go viral, and how does that convert, right? Because I see this a lot. I've done like a ton of just like looking online at other bands. I'll go through the band Instagram account, which is like, the algorithm is like tuned to like only show music stuff. So I will see like the full suite of music reels out there, right? So like the way people are promoting themselves, the way people are promoting themselves when they're running ads, the way, like, so you'll see like a band will do like a funny thing, You know, like, oh, this is what it's like being in a band is like, or like this is what our it's like lifestyle vlogging. Almost,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and I get it because like that is how you get people to buy into your band as a brand.
Yes.
It might not even be anything about the music, you know
Which
what I mean?
is also an important thing too. It's like you're trying to promote the music, but you also need to promote a brand at the same time.
Exactly.
This is wild.
And so like I see these wildly successful band, or you know, with a lot of followers, a lot of engagement. These bands where they do skits. You know, they'll do skits about like being in a band, or they'll do like funny things about like, I don't know, like, you know, what the average hipster music guy looks like and how they act.
Yeah. This is what bassists
Right,
do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, he's eating cigarettes in the fucking basement.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's funny, but like it has nothing to do with their music.
Yeah.
But you go to their page, they have a ton of engagement, they have a ton of followers, and you know, then I pop to the Spotify page, and they do have a pretty good amount of streams as well.
Yeah.
Right. So you'll see that, or there'll be bands that like have they'll do like a meme, you know, they'll take a clip from a TV show.
Sure.
They'll have a caption that's about like, oh, you know, this is what being like when it comes like loading your gear in the you know is like kind of like this.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, trying to promote your shows. You know, very self-deprecating. There's this whole angle of like pity marketing.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I'm not calling anybody out in particular when I say this, but
No. I had somebody who's like getting into the influencing world. She explained it to me. She literally called it pity marketing.
I think that is the technical term.
And
Yeah.
she pitched it to me that way, and I was like, that sounds so simpy. I will never do that shit. But I didn't realize it's a technical term.
I think so.
It's a scientific term.
Yeah, it's been well researched by
right.
the top TikTok experts.
Anyway, I interrupted you.
No. We're having a conversation. But so there'll be the, you know, like, and this is, I've seen this work. This is like a proven formula, so I'm not knocking it. But like every other, like when I'm scrolling through these bands, just to see what other people are doing, how other bands are marketing themselves.
Yeah. It's good research, right?
A lot of, you'll see this caption over and over again, where it's like, congratulations, you've stumbled upon this, you know, genre band that is, you know, small enough that it'll reply and like all of your comments, you know, and you'll see that over and over and over again. And the reason you'll see it is because it's low effort. It's very easy to, you know, I mean, you just film your band, not even necessarily playing.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many band style content that has nothing to do with their music. That has nothing to do with them performing as instruments.
Yeah.
But you know, and then people comment, and that's, you know, and I'm sure the appealing nature of that is it's very replicable, right? You can do it over and over and over again. You can post that every single day for the rest of your life if you need to. And so yeah, there's that style of content, right?
Sure.
And then so there's the lifestyle brand marketing of being a band, right?
Yes.
The other way to do it
Yeah.
is the performance, right? And,
Sure.
and that's to be like either you have footage of your band playing live, or it's like they're like lip syncing videos. I don't know how else to describe them. You know what I mean?
They're like short music.
They're short music videos,
Yeah.
and the person is standing there, and they're holding guitar, they're playing as a band, and none of the instruments are plugged in. But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You're not like trying to trick anybody.
Yeah.
You are creating the.
You're promoting the music.
Right. Yeah, you're creating the stage that like where we are ostensibly when we recorded this, we played these instruments.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And like that's another way to promote music. And now that's the one when I was doing, now if we're gonna pivot to the other stuff I've been working on, Kinoko, which is just some songs I wrote on my own. I'm very much an emo pop punk kid at heart, you know.
Well, I want to hear more about your influences. Too.
But sorry, I'm all over the place.
No. But continue your train of thought. We'll get all to all
we'll
of
get
it.
to all of it.
Yeah.
But you know, then so there's like the lifestyle type, and then there's the performant type of content. Those are like the main two buckets I categorize music as. Online.
Yeah.
And the former half, neither half is quite appealing to me, and I'll take a guess and say it's not that appealing to most musicians. Like 99% of people who start a band did not start a band to make 100 TikToks a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nevertheless, here we are.
Yeah.
That was a big thing when I was first making music, and I was like, you know, I do want to seriously promote this. I want to make a genuine effort at getting my music out there.
Yeah.
And part of that was just like, you kind of have to suck it up, You just kind of have to accept this is how. I mean, I don't know, and maybe because of where we are, maybe you move to Nashville, you move to LA, you play bars, you meet a record producer, an open mic, and they're like, oh, I really like your sound. I'm gonna take you away, and I'm gonna do all the marketing for you.
Yeah.
And best case scenario, you become an industry plant, right?
Yeah.
But
you just become a psyop.
Right. Exactly. But I was like, no, that's not gonna be the path we do. So like, I have to accept that making content is like something that has to be done.
The slog has to happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
And so when it comes back to those two types of content, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I leaned a little more into the latter than the former, the like performing content.
Sure.
Because that is what you're doing as a band, right? You're making music.
Yeah.
But both are kind of like, I don't know. It's embarrassing. And it's a thing all over again. The whole hurdle I had when it came to writing music. It's embarrassing to be exposed to say, hey, I have something to say that's, that I'd like someone to listen to engage with. But you start doing that, and then you go down the whole, a rabbit hole of like engagement, right? Oh, you have 2 seconds, you have 3 seconds to catch someone's attention. Most 99% of users scroll immediately when they see your content, and like, don't make your ad an ad. Like trick them. And it's something brands are getting very good at as well. They'll pay for an ad, but they'll shoot somewhere along the way. I just like from watching like Hulu on my like with ads, Hulu with ads on my TV.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, the advertisements went from the big widescreen ads all to the vertical phone style advertisements.
They love that user generated content. Yeah.
Now if you watch Hulu or you watch a streaming thing on a TV, the ads look weird because they're all optimized for mobile.
Yeah. That's wild. Or they want to make it look like they've shot it on a phone.
Right.
So that it's more like real.
It's more real, right? And they'll have like a fake, not a fake, it's a real person, but like someone paid to
It's an actor.
Well, for now, we'll see how the AI, maybe they don't even need people.
Well, it's just kind of on a funny little side note. This might interest you. Yeah. So I went to school for theater, so I also do freelance acting and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the websites that I use to find acting gigs is Backstage.
Okay. Yeah.
And this probably wouldn't surprise you at all, but there is so many postings for commercials shooting in that user. They call them UGC.
Okay.
They call it a UGC commercial. That's what the industry calls it, because it's user-generated content.
I see.
And like every single one, they want you to have 2 phones, one in your hand so you can show something in your hand, and one that you're filming on.
Sure.
It's flooded. Like I went from being on Backstage, like looking for like theater and commercial gigs, and I can't remember. It was like 1 week I logged in. I was like, "What's UGC?" And then suddenly it was like so many. And it's like everybody is doing that shit.
Yeah.
And so for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, exactly. And again, these are all just observations. I'm not saying any of this like, oh, real music is gone, because there are so many genuinely talented musicians who are making these kind of skits, and if you talk to them, I'm sure they're not like, oh, I love doing this, but they're like, it's what you got to do.
Yeah, nobody's making like a moral judgment on these people or anything. It's just sort of like, it's amazing, because even as young as we are, we're seeing what we understand about the music industry is just like constantly changing. And it is fascinating to me when you really think about it. Somebody told me, I think I was like coming out of college, and they were like, oh yeah, Instagram is the place for bands.
Right.
And I was like, Instagram? Like, isn't that like a short form video platform? Why is that the industry for bands? And yet
here we are.
And here we are. Yeah. I mean, venues literally take into account your Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's when you're emailing venues. You're like, hey, I got this many followers. I got this many monthly listeners.
Yeah.
And again, not making moral judgment. I get it. How else are they supposed to judge?
It's true.
Like what kind of crowd you can draw?
Yeah, it's amazing, because like now we are in an age where it's like, this is so cool. Anybody can DIY shit.
Right.
It does make sense.
Any 2 idiots can sit in a basement and
talk about shit. The barrier for entry is so low, but then it becomes like, okay, so how do you stand out? And then here we are. So I guess, and again, this doesn't have to be the definitive advice.
Okay.
at all. But I guess just I'm curious because I pick everybody's idea about this, and I'm curious how we do this in our band.
Yeah.
Like, how do you find your fans? And this is like, I always hear people say this all the time. They're like, you need to find out who your fans are and pitch to them.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I feel like sometimes it's hard to describe what your own style of music is, or even be self-aware enough to be like, like this is how I define it. But then also to be like, oh, these are the type of people that will like it. Like, how do you?
Sure.
I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to preface this answer by saying, David, if I could definitively and consistently answer that question correctly, I could work at any record company in the world at any price I wanted. Right?
Yes, true.
That is the question.
So now you're going to give me the answer.
I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
Okay, but this is a good segue actually into your solo project.
Yes. Yeah.
So talk to me.
I'm still figuring it out, and this is what I found.
Yeah. No. Well. So for your solo project, how would you define? I guess the music. Like you don't have to put a genre on it. I suppose.
I'm happy to.
But yeah.
Yeah. So it's Kinoko is kind of this like emo, like self, very self-conscious, self-irreverent, just for fun, but also very serious kind of music that I love to make. Very much in the vein of music I grew up listening to, like the Death Cab for Cutie, like influences of like the Decemberists, and again I love all pop punk, MCR, Blink-182, Sum 41.
Yeah.
And then some of the more recent, like fourth, fifth wave emo that's been coming out. So like Hot Mulligan, Front Bottoms, Modern Baseball, Marietta. So like kind of, and so like, because punk was underground in the 90s. Then it went very mainstream in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Then it kind of went underground again in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's coming back into the mainstream.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, DC does seem like it's pretty heavy on the punk anyway.
Oh, yeah. DC has bands that are way cooler than me.
That's what I was driving at.
Way cooler than me. And so I've been writing a bunch of songs, and I have been working with he is like my good friend's brother who lives out in Germany. Very talented guy. Shout out Michael Barrett. And he what basically happens is, so you know the band Postal Service?
I've heard of them.
Okay. You know how they got their name?
No.
So the way it would work is the Ben Gibbard, the singer-songwriter, he would write the songs, he would like put the chords down. Like, here's the song, here's the chords, and he would mail it through the Postal Service to his producer.
Oh, no way.
And his producer, who's like electronic artist, would like then make the like beats to it, like the electronic backing and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where the name comes from,
Oh, no
right?
way.
It's like the Postal Service. So we did something like that in the digital age, in the modern age, right? So I would like send him these god awful scratch recordings of me playing on the acoustic guitar.
Sure.
And I'd send it to him, and he's like, "Okay, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make this sound." And I'm like, "That's exactly what I'm trying to do. How did you know that?" And then I would record the guitars, I would record the vocals, he would do the drums and like the additional instruments and things like that. And we kind of go back and forth like that.
Wait, is he playing the guitar on the tracks?
Sometimes.
No way.
Yeah. He's super talented. He went to like school, I don't know, some fancy music school for fancy kids. But he lives out in Germany now.
Fancy guy.
Fancy country. Fancy country. Lots of opinions on beer and chocolate.
They do have good beer there. Yeah. German beer is good. Okay, so he's helping. You're sending him ideas, and he's doing the mixing and the producing.
Right.
And he's the one who's doing all the mixing and producing on this EP that you're coming out
exactly.
with.
Exactly.
Now, and it's already complete, though.
It's done. Yep. It's
Wow.
been submitted to the CD baby distro. I can't remember what it's called.
The distributors.
The thing. Yeah. And they take a while to accept it, unless you give them $30. You never noticed that?
Well, I could go on a rant
unless you slide them $30, and then they can do it overnight.
Well, I could go on a rant about distributors because I told you about how our music got taken down, right?
Well,
so.
that's the other thing, right? Is you're like, when you're new to, I'm jumping back to what we were talking about like half an hour ago.
Fine.
And when you're new to promoting your music, and you're like, how do I promote my music?
Yeah.
And they're like, give me $10 and I'll get you on these totally real, totally organic playlists.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, they must, that's what comes up. They must know what they're talking about. So you give them $10 and you get like 700 streams in Iceland. You get like 700 streams in like Finland. And you're like, oh, shoot. Like, I messed up. These are bots. I'm gonna get in trouble.
No, it's so funny too, because it's like the fact that like your music can get taken down by this gigantic corporation because they're worried about you taking their money.
Right. Oh, God forbid. God
like,
forbid.
So wild to me that like, and trust me, like I am not like some kind of weird like, oh, I hate people that are successful. Like, dude, these companies making lots of money, more power to them. But like, if they think they're missing out from money from my music,
I mean, that's like 0.003 cents you're taking from them.
I promise you're
from
not
the
making
pockets of these hardworking. No.
you're not making any money off me. Trust me. Like, I'm just trying to get my family members.
You've already made the money when I paid for the distribution.
Yeah, I know, right? Like... Seriously. Oh my God, dude. I know it's funny too. Like the bots. The whole bots thing is
and then sometimes
like,
a botted playlist will just add you. So what they'll do, it's very insidious. They'll add you to a botted playlist, right? So you'll be just a random schmuck like me, and one day you'll have like 1,000 streams. And you're like, oh my God, it's happening. It's finally happening.
It's finally happening.
And then it disappears, of course. And conveniently, later that week, you get an email from this company. They're like, hey, we saw you've got some great numbers. We can help you like achieve that consistently, right? And it's the same people, right?
Sure.
The people who throw you on the botted playlist then reach out to you and say, hey, do you want more streams? Like you had streams, you don't got them now.
Yeah, no, I know. Or it could be like us, where it's like you get put on a playlist that has bots, and then your distributor is like, you're flagged, and we're taking all your music off, and it's like, jeez. Yeah, I know. It's such a weird, and you know what else? Just kind of like on a side note, it's so weird to me that these people are out there like preying on, because this happens in the acting world too, where you'll get fake like, oh, we want to cast you in this role.
Sure.
You just have to pay us $500 or some shit.
Right.
Or it's like, or like this, where it's like, oh, we're gonna help you. We're gonna give you thousands of followers. Just pay us $500. It's like, who told these people that independent artists have that kind of money to throw around?
Right.
Like what? Like,
I mean,
if you're trying to scam people, shouldn't you be scamming like 80-year-old retired women? Like, why are you trying to get starving artists? You're going to get any money from them.
And they'll prey on anyone with hopes and dreams, you know.
I guess. Well, it's hilarious. It's like, it's almost like they're not trying to make money. They're just trying to be more evil. It's like, well, these people can't afford it.
Love of the game.
That's right.
Taking $50 from a starving artist is better.
That's right.
Than $50,000 from someone who can afford it. You know,
just feels better. Just feels better because I know that I'm also
all their money.
I'm stealing their money, but I'm also stealing their hopes and dreams. I get both. That's like crazy. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Your friend, is it Robert?
Michael
is. He is doing the producing, he's mixing everything, and you're sending him guitar and vocal tracks.
Exactly.
And then you're kind of describing what you want the other instruments to sound like.
Exactly. He's working real magic. I mean, I'm giving him, not even clay, like I picture of clay. And I say, make a statue out of this, make a sculpture out of this.
Damn.
This is what I want the material to look like.
Sure, yeah. I don't know how you're going to make this thing, but make it. And then he does.
Yeah, then he's like, yeah, no worries.
Wow. He's a mind reader.
He is. And that's really cool. And then that's the other cool thing about right, we're wildly oscillating between music is awesome and digital and everyone can do it, and music is so hard to break into because there's so much stuff.
No, it's true.
But back on the first half it's incredible that I can write and record and have this entire EP done, and I've never like played it with a band yet.
Wow, that's crazy. So how are you going to go about doing that part of it now?
Well, stay tuned for that announcement.
Oh, okay.
Well, so Michael's the producer. His brother Scott.
Yes.
Is like my
who
best.
I met at the show.
You did, exactly. He's like my best friend from the awkward middle school days, from when I was first trying to start music.
Wow.
So he saw me really what was my lowest when I was writing songs about
on guitar. This was then you were learning guitar.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And anyway, so he just recently moved back to the area, and he was like, dude, I know you've been working on these songs with my brother. Like, I've been playing music up in Vermont. I've been playing drums in a band there.
Sick.
I'm gonna move back soon.
No way.
Let's get it. Like, let's start playing music together.
So he has been playing with a group in Vermont. You
yes.
just said.
Shout out Yabai.
Okay.
No, super awesome group up in Burlington that Scott was part of the founding of. But yeah, he just moved to be, I think, closer to family, or me, most likely me.
He moved for me.
He moved for me. I want that on the podcast.
Yeah. We're not even in a committed relationship, and he moved for me.
Total sucker. But
so that's 6. So there's going to be the 2 of you, and then are you adding any more people?
Yeah. I mean,
How's that working?
that's right. That's the next part. We got to find a bassist. We got to find probably maybe a second guitar or something like that. The good news is I kind of broke my teeth on the broke my teeth. No,
cut my teeth.
Yeah. You don't break it. That's terrible. I cut my teeth on learning how to like book and promote on the side. So hopefully going to leverage that. But also again, really trying to embrace the digital mediums, right? The TikToks, the Instagrams, and the things like that.
Social media.
Yeah. Because I am at the moment gainfully employed in a 9-to-5 office job.
Sure.
Which is helping me, have shelter and food and stuff like that. And I like that. And
those are good things.
And so it's a thing that I can do while, not, because, again, how it used to be is, right, you kind of just like went on tour and you hoped you made money or you broke even or you you caught someone's eye or you kind of had that like natural groundswell.
Yeah.
And so, being online, you can kind of hedge your bets a little more, which I think is it's more responsible at the very least.
Sure.
And it's again, I really the process of songwriting is so fulfilling to me that like even if I can just write and release music and have people listen to it and like enjoy it, that's plenty for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm very, very thankful for that. But yeah, hopefully we'll do some shows and we'll play, and a lot of this happened, I think, a lot too. People were doing like streams, they were streaming their bands playing. That got pretty popular, I think, a little while back. I don't know how popular it is now, but like that's an avenue, right? People are streaming video games all day, right?
Yeah.
People are doing like lifestyle content. There's a lot of travel vlogging content out there. People just like literally live streaming going to a country and like going to eat and stuff like that. So who knows, right? Like that could absolutely be something that I think would be cool to explore on my end, or at least, right?
So you see this correct me if I'm wrong. Did you see this more as a songwriting avenue rather than like a performance avenue?
Sure, maybe yes and no. It's also an avenue for my art in general, and I like like drawing. I've also I've done a lot of like silly little things. I'm very easily distracted, but I always want to try and make something.
Yeah.
And so that's been kind of just like, I don't know, let's do this today. Let's try this out and see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
And do you just like now when you say like your like art drawing,
right?
Is that like something? Is that kind of like more of a doodling thing? Is it something like a hobby thing, or is it something that you've just been doing your whole life?
It's a total
like...
hobby. Like, I mean, I have been doodling all my life.
Yeah.
Because I've just been terrible. I've just never like in school. Embarrassingly enough at
during
work.
class.
Yeah, during class. I mean, I don't know. My hand just like, and I loved, comic books and cartoons and manga growing up.
Oh, yeah.
So I've always, been really just I love doodling. I don't know if I have the discipline and like the patience both to learn and to actually create art that is like super detailed and super good. My stuff is very sketchy, kind of simple lines kind of thing. But it's something that I've always done and kind of always enjoyed in the background. Again, I've never had like any formal training. I never went to art school or anything like that. But when it came time to promote my music, right, when I had all these songs recorded and like I had released a few of the Kinoko songs, and we go back to where we were, right? It's like, choose your path. Am I going to start making a skit, a variety lifestyle content?
Yeah.
Or am I going to start doing, like guitar performances? And I did try that a little bit, and I felt I didn't love it. Some performers are performers. You know what I mean? You put them in front of a camera, and they're on. And I put you in that category, honestly.
Thank you.
That is not me.
Sure.
And I think, that is, to be fair, consistent with my style of music, right, and what I'm interested in, and things like that. So I did a few of those, and I'm like, I don't really like doing this, so I kind of defaulted to doing what I've always done across my entire life growing up, which I started doodling. So I started sketching out these like, and I think I was like, okay, I have this like little drawing tablet that I have. I don't really use. It's a reoccurring theme here. I have all these little tools that I buy on a whim and never touch again.
What other unused things in your closet or like desk drawer are you going to pull out that are going to make you successful? You got to start digging for these things.
I know. I got a harmonica somewhere.
Oh,
I got
there
like
you
a whole
go.
harmonica kit. So yeah, I started drawing these like little, these little doodles, little animations, and they're all of like little like creatures, like kind of like Japanese yokai, spirit, whatever. But it was a joke. It was like, I just released this song, but like I don't have any fans, so here's what my fans would look like, right? And then obviously they see it, and it's like no humans are in the picture, right? It's kind of a jokey, funny thing. And I posted that. I posted a few of those, and someone had commented, and they was like, oh, well, I'll join. I'll be like a raccoon or a tanuki or something. And I was like, oh, that's he's engaged. So I drew him, and then I posted that. And I was like, now, okay. And then someone else was like, oh, can you draw me? I'll be a raccoon, like waving a candle. I was like, yeah, I'll draw, and now it's this, what I call my virtual mosh pit, and you can pull it up on the we can pull it up underneath here, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
Just on a side note, it's a super fun thing.
Yeah,
I love the little animations. I've never seen anybody promote their music like this. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And it's not like it's very unpretentious because it's like these little doodles,
sure, right?
But they're cute and it's fun,
yeah,
and like. It's so like random that it's like, what am I going to see next?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it lends itself pretty well to this medium, where we're kind of like looking for the next thing,
exactly,
kind of a thing.
Exactly.
So sorry.
No. You nailed it. And again, it just kind of like it started there, where like again, a few people had said to they want to draw things. I was like, perfect. Now I don't have to come up with it, right? Because otherwise I was just gonna have to keep drawing and coming up with ideas.
They're giving you content ideas,
exactly.
Wow.
They're like, make me a lot of people want to be rabbits. A lot of people want to be cats.
Right, rabbits are in now.
Rabbits, cats, raccoons, possums. I think those are the top 4 most requested.
Why do you think people want to be possums?
I think they're just cute.
Okay.
Like on an abstract level, and like not cute. Like I want one in my trash or in my house.
I was gonna say, like you see a possum in the wild, dude. These things are crazy.
Yeah, but you can draw them cute.
Possums are like the homeless people of animals. They're like just kind of like they're always like foaming at the mouth or some shit.
Yeah.
But they're also known for playing dead too.
They're relatable. I don't know. It's sort of this feral, like scrounging, a creature of the night that a lot of people
that could also be kind of dark
identify
too. If it's
with.
Like. They're relatable because they play dead a lot. So possums, raccoons, or tanukis.
Tanukis, yes,
right.
which are a type of raccoon dog.
Yes. The Tanuki suit from Super Mario 3.
That's right. The Super Mario 3. Although that is not what I would call a historically accurate Tanuki suit.
Okay, so what is the difference between a Tanuki and a raccoon?
I think just like I'm not an anthropologist. I can give you a scientific definition. I can give you a cultural definition.
Give me the cultural. I want the cultural.
They're a type
I don't understand.
They're a
science
type
anyway.
of raccoon that is native to Japan.
Sorry, say that again.
Tanuki is a type of raccoon that is native to Japan.
Got it.
And they are, they're kind of like the foxes of mythology. They're like pranksters. They're mischievous, and they also. And I'm sorry if you have to edit this out. They're known for having giant balls.
Really?
That's like if you go to Japan and they're like these cute little mascots, and they'll be outside storefronts, right? And you'll be like, oh, that's so cute. And like in between their legs, they're like sitting on it. Is their their balls?
Wow. Is this part of the mythology?
That is, I don't know how it started. It's just what they're known for.
Dude, why don't we have an animal in America like that?
And I don't think it's accurate to their actual physicality.
Oh.
It's just a thing that caught on, I guess.
The balls of a tanuki.
Yeah, are just massive. But you don't see that in Super Mario. They won't show you that in Super Mario.
Oh, wow. Well, he's a plumber, so I don't know. Maybe that's a masculine, like, ball hanging job. That's, yeah.
It's a plumber's crack, but in the front.
So, that's a different type of plumber's crack. So, funny little self-indulgent side story.
Yes.
When I was in college, one of my best friends, whenever we were backstage waiting for our time to go on stage, we would play Super Mario Brothers 3.
Amazing.
To the point where like and obviously getting the Tanuki suit is one of the coveted items in
Right,
the game,
right.
right? And so like to the point where we would play to get to a part in the game where we could like save or like beat a certain level or get the Tanuki suit, right? And
Right.
so it would become this thing where every time we would see each other, we would just call each other Tanuki. And legitimately, like, she's like married with 2 kids,
Right.
and I'm like here, like 30, living in my house, and like we just call each other like Nuki. Like
That's cute.
Because
That's
of
very
the
cute.
fucking, like,
Yeah, because of Mario.
because of Super Mario.
Oh.
Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
And she's one of the funniest people I know. She like has like these names for like all of her different friends.
Right.
Like, this person's Friend, this person's Nuki, it's just like, all right, this is how
Just giving new names out.
it's a thing. So, speaking of names though, where does Kinoko come from?
Oh yeah. Kinoko is the Japanese word for mushroom, and that is like the beginning and the end of the story.
Okay.
Which is
All
to
right.
say, I agonized over Grim Winter. I was like, I wanted to be intentional. I had a huge list of names. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I want to have a cool name that's like a little mythological, a little evocative, a little dark. Excuse me. And when it came time to do this, I was like, I don't want to think about this at all.
Yeah.
And then Kinoko was like the first thing I thought of. It was like the first word that came to my mind. I'm like, boom, done. I'm just not going to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just mushroom. That's all it means.
Okay.
And so, I'll have to weave that iconography into all my stuff moving forward, which is fine. But
No, mushrooms are cool. There's
Yeah,
something
mushrooms are cool.
archetypal about a mushroom.
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so when I was drawing these, again, I drew a few of these guys on my own. Some people started to ask to be part of it. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to, I'll draw a few because, I was only getting like 1 or 2 comments on these things. And then I made the horrible mistake of like, I think posting it to like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram all at the same time.
Oh, why is that bad?
Well, because I suddenly I got like 30 or 40 requests.
Oh.
And like
you say that like that's a bad thing.
Well, no, wait, it's not bad. But like the fool I am, I said yes to all of them.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
yeah, I'll do it.
And then
I'll
he's
do
quitting
it.
his job.
And at first I was like, I had like 6 guys, and I was like, okay, I'll go to 50. I'll do 50. That's a ton of people. That's a ton of drawings. That'll
Yeah.
like keep me occupied for months.
Yeah.
And I think I did in like a week.
Wow.
Or like 2 weeks.
Oh,
I
pretty
got
good.
to 50. And I was like, okay, 50. That was a lot. That was quicker than I thought. Oh, let's do 100. Let's go to 100. And so
100?
50 became 100.
Holy
100
shit.
became 200. I'm at like Gen 2 Pokemon right now. I'm like 250, 260.
Oh my God.
And I've really streamlined the process.
Is every character different?
Yeah.
Wait, like like a different animal?
Oh no, there's a lot. There are repeats.
Okay.
I mean, like there's
I
more.
was like, I don't think I could name 50
no.
animals.
Again, there are a lot of
Maybe.
cats. There are a lot of raccoons.
Okay, fair,
There are a lot
fair,
of
fair.
possums.
But each one is different.
Each one
Like,
is different. Each one
differently
I've
doing
drawn
something.
differently. Each drawing has anywhere from like at its simplest, it has like 3 or 4 frames, and these are all hand drawn.
Yeah.
4 to like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Depending on like how complicated the animation is or how like
Oh, sure.
how energetic I feel, because I do these after work. Well, I have this really terrible. I've mostly fixed it, but I had this awful habit of getting home from work, falling asleep until like 7-8 p.m., getting up, having dinner, getting ready for bed, right, and then staying up until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
drawing,
Yeah.
just doodling, just drawing, and because I don't know, once I start. I'm very much a person who's like, oh, I'll start and I'll get to like a good stopping point. I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like once I start, I just end up doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I stay up till like 2 or 3. I go to bed. I'd wake up exhausted because I only slept for a few hours. I'd be exhausted all day. And so of course the second I get home from work, I crash again. And the
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I've gotten a little bit. There are still some slips here and there, but it's. The good thing is I can do all of this from the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
All I need is a tablet, and I can make these things, and so I don't know. Maybe now's the time to announce it. Yeah. So my self-titled EP Kinoko is coming out October 10th, Naruto's birthday. For those keeping track, and I am going to also release all like the animation of all of the drawings I've done up until this point, most likely onto my YouTube channel, but I'll have a big moving slideshow with all the music underneath it, so you guys can dance along to the music when it comes out.
Wait, you're telling me that for the entire album, you're going to have an animation going?
I'm going to have it going back and forth of the 250 guys, and I'll put the music under it. It's like a 16-minute EP. So
Oh, it's 16 minutes?
It's not that long. No.
Oh, so how many tracks is that?
It's like 5 tracks.
Wow.
It's 5 tracks, and the first track is like 52 seconds.
Oh, damn. That's not a record, I guess. That does seem pretty short.
Yeah. Well, more music coming. I've already sent Michael my napkin drawings of a song, for him to spin into gold. And so we're still working on music. And then, it's part of like buying into the modern way of doing things, which is, singles versus albums.
Oh, I see.
Right. So like I am very much of I'm just going to like release 5 or 6 singles, tie them together, call it an EP kind of thing.
Wait. So are you doing, but this EP is going to come out as an EP?
Yes.
The ones moving forward, are you going to do singles which are grouped together in an EP?
So I have done 3 singles. I'm going to do a 4th one. It'd be September. It'll probably be out by the time this airs, so September 12th.
Okay.
The EP is 6 songs. I'm sorry, the EP is 6 songs.
Oh, okay.
I'll have done 4 singles into the EP, and the EP will just be 2 more songs.
I see.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you've already released some.
Yes.
While we're recording this, you've already released it.
Yeah. That's what I have as the like when I'm doing my little videos. I'm saying, I'm going to draw all these guys. The thing that's playing.
That's where that music is from.
Right.
Because I was curious if you had music that was already released before this EP was coming out, or if that was music from the EP.
It's both. I released it before the EP as a single. It will be. I
see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow, 6 songs at 16 minutes.
Yeah.
What is?
Well, again, it's this is not music you listen to. This is emo music. It's short and it's sweet, and oftentimes there's no bridge.
I mean, I've listened to. I've listened to emo music before. Are like songs usually 2 minutes long?
Maybe a little more like skater, like rock kind of, not punk, but like punk adjacent kind of music is usually maybe on the shorter side.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, because you can get through 2 verses and 2 choruses very quickly at 170 beats per minute.
Huh. I feel like this is really going to lend itself extremely well for the short form content world that we live in.
That's a convenient happenstance. I don't want to say
intentional.
Yes and no. I mean, I've never written a song for like virality or for like for short form content.
Sure.
It just happens to work out that a lot of the music I write, a lot of the songs I'm into are shorter songs.
Wow.
So,
that's. I mean, they say like write what you know, but also like lean on your strengths too. So it's like if you like writing short songs, and you like, I mean, we talked about the difficulty of liking and not liking making short form content, but you like to draw.
I love to draw, so I'm very happy with where I am.
Yeah,
I have found. Again, there's lifestyle content, there's music content. I have found this like third bucket, which I guess is still a music, but it's engaging with people who hopefully are interested in either engaging with my art or with my music. They want to be a part of it, right? That's the whole point. It's like it's a mosh pit. They're dancing. Well, sometimes they're dancing. Again, I get these weird requests.
I want like a duck falling asleep while he's smoking a cigarette.
Right, kind of thing. And that's hilarious. I would love to do that.
Yeah, it's like
no, there's some funny stuff in there. There's like I got like a monk. There's this one guy who like he's commenting all my videos like multiple times. He's like, monkey on a pterodactyl, monkey on a pterodactyl, monkey on a pterodactyl. And I was like, okay, yes, of course.
Well, he's trying to get 2 animals for the price of 1.
I know. But I'm
you're a generous guy.
I'm a generous guy. I'm easy to convince.
That's right.
So yeah, there's some, what I mean? They're on there for like 3 seconds, right? As it's going by, there's just like this pterodactyl just like swooping down and diving back up, and this monkey, and he's like holding on for dear life, it's just somewhere in the background. So
sick.
It's almost like when you look at it all at once, it looks like an animated Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
There's
dude, I love that
so
shit.
many things going on.
Where's Waldo was my jam back in the day, dude. Oh my gosh.
So
that's sick. I like that. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You don't have anything for me to play per se.
Sure. It's on. I'm on Spotify, Bandcamp.
That's true.
Tidal, Apple Music.
Because I kind of like the idea of playing something.
Sure.
And maybe you can kind of tell me a little bit about just sort of like how
Dude,
the song came
I'd
about and like
love to.
where it came from
Sure,
and,
sure.
and stuff like that. So I'm going to go. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Spotify, you said, right? Or
Sure.
actually,
Wherever
go to
you want.
Bandcamp.
Go to Bandcamp. That's the cool.
That is the cool. Bandcamp
place
is
to
so
go.
much cooler than Spotify. Let's just plug Bandcamp over here. I should make a reel of us just like glazing Bandcamp.
Tag them in there. Hope they repost
Be
it.
like, you're the best, Bandcamp.
We love Bandcamp Fridays.
Because then you don't need those distributors that are going to fuck with us.
Well, when I was a teenager, Bandcamp was like the cool thing to be on. I mean, I argue it's still cool, but like it was like the cool thing.
No,
to be on.
I've heard. Yeah, I remember that when it was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, are you on Bandcamp as a
Right.
band? Okay, so it's Kinoko, right?
Yes.
And that's Kinoko.
Yeah. Let's see how good my SEO is.
And
What do you got?
there's like a picture of like it looks like a girl. She's like holding her head,
Nope.
and she's got long hair.
Nope.
I don't know. Somebody's stealing your name, bro.
Type in Kinoko like November midnight.
Kinoko, November mid. Whoops, can't spell apparently. Found it. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so which track should I play?
Dude, pick a track. I don't know.
I know, but I want one with the best story. I mean, if you've got good stories with all of them,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Well, I mean, November midnight's my oldest one.
Right,
It's yeah.
Oldest as in, what do you mean?
Like
by
I wrote
oldest?
it like 45 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah. It was part of that.
Old as dirt.
Old as dirt.
He's a boomer.
If you're 5 years old, it's over, and you're not making six figures at 5 years old. If you're not benching 2 plates at 5 years old, it's over.
Damn. He's laying it down. All right, so this is November Midnight.
Yeah. So this was part of that not that first batch of songs that I was writing by myself, but that kind of the second batch. Where I'm like, oh well, okay, these are not terrible. And I think I have a very strong attachment to this one because I think personally this is my you know my favorite child, but this one's probably my favorite off the original EP, which I redid with Michael, who had a ton of really good ideas on how to enhance it, right?
So this is you on vocals.
Yep, that's
Beautiful.
me. Yeah. Vocals and guitar.
Oh, and you got the lyrics here too. So I know you already said this,
Yeah.
so I'm like listening and like you. So these songs are ones that you wrote during the lockdown.
Just that one.
This song.
That one in
This
particular.
specific
Yeah.
song. Got
the
it.
other two I've written in the last year or two.
Oh wow, this is interesting. This. This is very vibey.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's gauche to like jam to your own music, but
It's weird. It was so funny. Kind of on a little side note, I was doing this with Zach from Please Knock, and like I'm just watching him, and he's like squirming. He's like, "How do I listen
react
to my own music?"
Because you start listening to your music and you're like, oh, you're big shot now. Like you're you're enjoying your own stuff.
Wow, this is very vibey.
Yeah. And again, I really like the dotted quarter notes here that come up. And it's a bit of a non-traditional song structure in the sense that it's not like a verse chorus thing, which I do a lot of, to be clear. But it's kind of broken up into a few different parts. But yeah, no, this song is a lot of it's a song. I mean, it is a song about Boston in a sense, but it's a song about any kind of city that someone would live in. I think this is more of maybe an East Coast thing. But November Midnight, the phrase is something an old girlfriend said once after like daylight savings, when it was like pitch black at like 4 p.m.
Oh,
She was like,
yes.
oh, it's a November Midnight.
Oh, that's cool.
And so
that's very cool.
The song is a lot about like winter in the Northeast, and being in a city.
Yeah, this is very moody.
Yes.
Wow.
And then this coming up here, this 3-part melody is like a very Blink-182 feeling this kind of outro, which they got from the Beatles, which they got from the Beach Boys. Have you heard this? Have you heard this theory that Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys is like the first emo album?
No, I have not.
That's like if you trace the like genealogy of emo music,
Oh, really?
it goes all the way back to the Beach Boys.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's pretty.
They were the
I've
first
never
one
heard
to
that.
do like the harmonies and like the different guitar parts and
Oh,
yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I was not classically trained in any music
Okay,
either.
perfect.
So I'm like, yeah, like I always admire people who like definitely know their shit.
Right.
But from what I've heard, like that album and the Beach Boys in general is actually pretty damn complex.
Oh, incredibly.
Which is like kind of wild.
And they're all doing it like on the floor, you know? Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine, you know, I'm you know, so used to having a million takes and getting to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Or if I fuck up, people are like, oh well, they'll comp that.
Yeah.
They'll fly that over from another part. I've gotten enough takes, you know. But they were like they had to nail it in the studio all together. And they were doing some wild stuff. So good for them.
What okay, what would you say? So who are like some of like your just a couple, maybe like your three of some of like your biggest influences?
Sure. Number one, shout out Death Cab for Cutie. Shout out Ben Gibbard. I mean, especially their earlier stuff, you know, Plans and I can't remember anything pre Kintsugi. Is really I adore and I grew up really loving. It's I feel like I listened to a lot of music growing up that like I don't necessarily want to listen to now. But Death Cab is one of those bands that really holds up. So I really like them. And then I can't like the whole modern baseball front bottoms like 2010s emo that was happening. I really really liked and like I not missed that growing up, but I think I discovered it a little later than like, you know, a little past. All the bands had broken up by the time I found out about them.
Yeah.
And so those two. Number three, I have to. I don't want to like be in the same because I do listen to a lot of different types of music.
Sure.
I'm trying to find an artist that may not be in my genre but still has influenced me a lot.
To be fair, you kind of described your own music as kind of emo. So
yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's. I mean, if these people are your influences, they're your influences, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to tell you what to say, but
no. Yeah.
I can if you want me to.
Yeah. I don't know, and I'll be honest. I'm inspired by a ton of the bands I have played with since starting music, you know? Like, there's so much good music out there. And I think I had this kind of, like, preconception, like, when I first started playing music live, right, which was you know, only, like, 4 years ago, I had this kind of preconception that, like, well, if you're a talented band, if you're a good band, like, people know about you.
Yeah.
So not that, like, local bands are bad, but, like, you don't think about them being as good as the stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like there are bands that I've gone to I played shows with, I've gone to shows for, that I've just like listened to as if they were any other band out there. I've done any of the bigger bands that are doing like big tours, stadium tours, things like that. So that's been like a big eye opener for me.
Yeah, and I've said this on other of these interviews, but I guess I wasn't really expecting. Yeah, like DC to have such a vibrant music scene, I guess. I was like, wow. The talent out here is amazing. It's something to behold. I mean, thinking about your own musical career, and I mean, there's a lot of different directions, you know, you could go, right? Because like you are playing in a band, you've also got a solo project. Who knows what other things you might get your fingers into.
Right.
As a musician, why not Nashville? Why not New York? Like, why DC right now for you?
For me,
yeah,
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
I think part of it is, again, you know, I'm from the area. My family's around here, so that's I'm not gonna say that's not part of it. That is part of it. I like being here. I like having, you know, a job, and I like, you know, being with the people that I get to play music with locally.
Yeah.
So it is I'll say this, it's a brave new world in terms of how music is promoted, how music is made, and so I am very much of the belief that like you can make music, you can become successful theoretically anywhere now more than ever.
Sure.
I'm sure there are
Why not,
geographical
right?
advantages to other bigger cities.
Sure.
But I like where I am, and I like the people I get to play music with.
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm not. Yeah.
No, I think
No
there's
need to blow it all up.
No, but well, yeah, there's something to be said for like, man, is there some way that we can like help this music scene grow here?
Sure,
Right? Like,
sure.
I mean, obviously we all want to be doing this as like our main thing and
Right.
not having to be like doing the day jobs and things like
Right,
that. Right. Like
right.
that would be that's the dream, right? But I think there is also something to be said with like, can we foster community where maybe people are actually starting to become more interested in going out and seeing live music? I think like, we've gotten so used to our devices. I don't think it's necessarily that
This is the longest I've gone without checking my phone in a long time.
Same, brother. See, I do this because it's the only way I can get away from my phone. I can't use my phone
Right,
because it's currently
exactly,
being used to film you. But I do think we're sort of trained to just be like, oh, okay, like when I have free time, I've got my devices,
Right.
I've got my close friends, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we're not too far away from a time where I think people are going to be maybe a little more adventurous, like especially with all this AI stuff going on. I just want, for me, this is going to sound really weird. I want the AI to get as good as quickly as possible.
So people have to go outside
so they get sick of it, right? Because it's going to hit a peak, guys. Like AI is not God. Like I laugh when I hear some of these podcasts where people are like,
sure.
there's going to be this new theology because we're going to create God, and it's like you can't. It's a number. Okay,
it's a bit right. Well, right now, if AIs are watching this in the future and you've we're all in the Matrix, I apologize, but
fuck those guys.
It is a very, very accomplished, very sophisticated language learning algorithm.
100%.
That's all it is. But that's all it is. It's not like a person.
Yeah, I don't want to insult the people that are working on this and that are passionate about it. I don't want to insult them. Obviously, the robots don't have feelings, so I can give a shit.
Right.
But I will say that like to me, I think of it kind of like the lockdowns. Right. Everybody thought that we could survive by living inside, getting DoorDash, and just like being by ourselves all the time. And it's like, no. We want the human element.
Right.
And I don't think that live performance is going to go away. I don't think wanting to like, people love discovering new music. Dude.
Oh, yeah,
like,
of course.
They really do.
Course.
Like
yeah.
My friends who are not interested in my music whatsoever, and I don't say this to knock them, it's just like it's not their thing. They love telling me about some new group that they like in their genre. People love that shit.
Yeah.
So it's I think there's just, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I do think people are eventually just going to be like, I don't know. I think it's an exciting time to be an independent artist. I think people are going to start trying to find new ways to just discover new artists and new music just because it's different.
Yeah.
Sure. Like the stuff you just played me, like or I played you, I guess, not to like glaze you or whatever, but it's like, oh, there's something, nobody else is making that thing. You made it. Yeah. So it's unique in and of itself, and I could go on with the, we can get really heady about this and go into the philosophy of the whole thing. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say other than like,
go see a live show.
It's and not even like as some kind of like moralizing statement.
No, because it's fun.
You should.
It's fun to do. You will have a fun time. I promise.
Yeah, like listen, we're all going to take our lumps. Like all of us independent musicians, we're going to get rejected and we're getting our lumps. Like you don't need to do this to feel bad for us or some pity shit or whatever. Like it legitimately is super fun. Like everybody, dude, Taylor Swift's tickets go for thousands and thousands of dollars. People like going out and watching live music.
Yeah.
And when you realize, and this is one of the coolest things that I enjoy about playing in a band and playing with local bands is like, oh, wow, I'm going to more shows because you want to network. And then suddenly you realize this is like the most fun thing I do.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you actually get to like see a show and you don't have to pay $100 for it.
And you get to talk to the band after.
Yeah.
You get to hang out with them.
It's like, dude, I'm going to spend $15 to $20 on a show. And like most of these musicians are really talented. Yeah. You get to see that shit. And then you get to talk to them. And it's like, well, that was $20.
Yeah.
And I had a super fun time.
Right.
And now I actually have more friends in some way too.
I have more friends. And there is something to be said about like having a community of musicians.
Yeah.
Like when I I've got my little local playlist, that I listen to, but it's like it's all local bands, and I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is like this is homegrown, and I feel it the same way, when I walk around DC, right? When I like see the people at the coffee shop I see every day, when I see my neighbors, like it's the same kind of feeling of having a community, which is very inspiring to me.
Yeah, and again, like this isn't like some kind of like, oh, like what a like an indie, like, look at me posturing what an indie person.
But if you're into that, go for it. I'm not trying to. If you're gonna come to my show for aesthetic purposes, I'm fine with that.
Let's get all the people.
Do it.
Yeah, let's get all the people doing it.
Get into the front row and read a book and pretend like you don't care. Go for it. I'm begging you.
Yo, I tell you what, if somebody came to my show and read a book right in the front, I would probably be weirded the fuck out and be like probably annoyed, but I'm definitely talking to that person.
I'm gonna do it to you next time. I'm gonna do the next show. I'm gonna have like a big scarf and I'm gonna. Yeah.
I was gonna say at least just to find out what the fuck they're doing, but I'll know what you're doing.
No, I'll have a disguise. You won't recognize me.
I'll have a different reason too. That's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, it is weird too, right? Because like, again, like people don't know this about Washington D.C. because everybody thinks of the Washington Monument and politics and shit and all, and Smithsonian's. But it's like you can go see live music every night of the week.
Oh, every night,
which is like, do people know that about Washington D.C.? You can go see a band play live every night now,
every single night.
Now maybe it's like that in every big city,
Probably,
right? So maybe that's not unique
but
at
also
all.
still here as well.
But I also don't rescind my statement.
It's still true. It's still
true. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I want to make sure that we've covered everything that we want to talk about your album, or your EP that's coming out. Your music. We talked about some of your influences. You've got 6 tracks.
God, I hope so. I think so. Hold on, let me count them.
You can't remember? Wow. So you've got
I just can't count to 6.
Well, as musicians,
I never got. I 1, 2, 3, 4.
We don't know math. We only know music, and even that, it's like we're not trained in, right? Yeah. So we talked about Kinoko. We talked about the name. You still need to find at least a bassist.
Yes. Hit me up. If you're watching this.
Auditions. We're gonna have auditions.
You got to be cool though.
Yeah.
Not like cool. Like you got to be chill.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
Actually, on a kind of serious note, because we were talking about this with rehearsal spaces, and I've said this 100 times, but I think it bears repeating. Like, for those of you out there that want to be in a band, I do feel like as important like talent and musicianship is and writing, such a big part of it is just showing up and having a place to practice
on time. And by on time, I mean like within half an hour of the window. Our standards are not that high.
Musician levels are very musician standards in terms of like being there on time are very, very low. And Nick would hate me saying that because he's always getting on me for being late, which I am late all the time. But see, when we have practice here,
can't be late.
Yeah.
Still find a way to do it, but
unless they have to drag me out of bed. But
right.
Damn, awesome. So October
10th. Yeah.
And then did you want to talk about your first show with this lineup?
I don't know if it's been announced yet, but if it has been announced,
we'll be
playing at the Pie Shop on December 12th with, I don't even have full lineup. Soul Meets Body will be there.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
And I will be doing, the reason I picked Pie Shop is because they have that screen in the back. So I'm going to be doing the...
That is sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's like the culmination of it, right? This whole time I'm drawing you so that we can all be together and like do a live show together.
Yes.
And then I'm going to do the live show and they're all going to be in the background.
Wow, I gotta say, I really like how much thought you've put into all of this.
Yeah. I mean, it happened accidentally, but like once I realized there was like people who are interested, people like, you know what I mean? The same person like comes back every day and comments, and they're like, this is what I liked about today's like bash. Can't wait to see what you have next.
Yeah.
Or people are like, oh, thank you so much. And like, once I realized there's kind of like the people were like coming back. Like not people were like. It was stumbling across their feed, and they were like, "Oh, that's cool. Make me a possum," But like they were coming back. They're like, "What else have you done?"
Yeah.
That's when I really was like, "Wow, well, let's see how far I can take this." And it's until my hand cramps out, I'm gonna just keep going.
Well, you're probably gonna be doodling anyway, like you said.
Exactly.
So you might as well.
I was already going to do it.
Yeah.
So I might as well now. At least I have ideas for new stuff, and that's the other thing, right? Is it kind of forces you to. I've probably become a better artist just because I've had to draw things that I would never draw.
Yeah.
Like monkeys on pterodactyls.
Yeah.
And a lot of I've learned like the anatomy of a lot of animals, that I just never thought about.
You're like, what does this thing's tail look like?
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, what's the weirdest animal you've had to draw?
Oh gosh. There was one. I'm gonna get the name wrong. I can't remember it. It's like this. I'll say like a tepui or something. But it's like it's sort of like a zebra, but it's got a prehensile tongue, like Jurassic era tongue.
Oh wow.
Super long blue tongue.
Okay.
That is just like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of thing.
When this follower of yours wanted to be drawn as that, did you know what the animal was when they said
No, I had to look it up. I had to look it up.
There's always that one guy on the internet that's like, make me like the monotreme.
Right, exactly. Or like a trilobite. I don't know what those are called. They're like prehistoric, And so, but they're all great and they're all super cute. And if I haven't done yours yet, I'm deeply sorry. There's a good chance that someone else had suggested something similar, and I've already done something similar. So, I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna get ahead of this and say, if you have suggested an emo cat, there are already a bunch of those in there. You are already covered. I promise. I'll probably do a few more just because people keep asking for them.
Yeah.
But it's gonna become a cat. It's gonna become a cat drawing if I keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna become all cats.
Would you say cats is the most?
Probably.
Yeah. More than dogs.
Oh yeah. Weirdly enough, not. I mean, it's a ton of dogs, but not as many as it's not like a 50-50 ratio.
A lot more cats. The internet is a place of cat people.
The internet is a place of cat people. Yeah.
Wait, okay. So just to clarify, because this is interesting to me. So you are literally drawing one drawing for each person that requests.
Well, more than one, because it's an animation. So I'm doing anywhere from 4 to 15.
Okay, but like one. So
one guy,
one character for each person.
Yeah.
And even if it's similar, it's just like, all right, there's going to be like.
Yeah. And I'll combine ideas, right? If someone's like, oh, I want to be a cat, and someone's like, oh, I want to be a cat with a mohawk, I'll just. You know what I mean? It's like there. Now
Got it.
That's you guys.
You guys are both that thing.
You gotta learn to share. You gotta learn to get along. You gotta make friends in the pit.
Oh, that's why that guy wanted to be a monkey riding a pterodactyl.
He knew no one else was gonna ask for that.
Or if somebody has to be a pterodactyl, he could at least be the monkey. He didn't have to share bodies with the other thing. That's pretty funny. Damn! Wow, this is a really. This whole the aesthetic that you've created is really fascinating. I love that. Just on a curious note.
Yeah.
So you already have this show booked. You're just not promoting it yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced.
Yeah, it hasn't been announced.
And we need to find an opener.
And you need to find. You definitely need to find a bass player.
Yeah.
And anybody
else.
else.
I don't want to name names, but I've made outreaches, overtures.
Beautiful. Yeah. We don't know.
I'm not a total idiot.
Yeah. I mean, well, you came across as one. No, yeah. So, okay, good. Well, that's good because I'm just thinking about the stress of me booking a show and then being like, oh shit, I need a bandmate and I need to have rehearsals.
And we need to learn all the songs. Oh, don't worry, stress is there. Yeah, it's constant.
Don't worry, I'm stressed the fuck out.
I'm stressed. Don't worry.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, dude, congrats. I'm really stoked. I appreciate and I appreciate you reaching out because it kind of got my fire under the ass. I knew that I needed to start doing these again.
Yeah.
And I really do want to get you and Clay in here.
Yeah.
And I want to get Andrew in here too because I know he's doing this kind of online coaching thing.
Be super great to talk
to. I got to
to
figure out if it's like having the two of you guys or maybe the three of you guys. Well, no, I guess Andrew, I might want to do have him on separately. So we'll have to talk. But and I got to reach out to Clay too. I think I'll have to get his number from you afterwards if I don't have it. I might have it. But he and I were chatting after a show, and he was like, dude, I just want to say, dude, Clay is such a bro, dude. Yeah. He was giving me, genuinely giving me the most heartfelt compliment after the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never had this happen. First of all, when you get a compliment as a musician, obviously, it means a lot to me anyway.
Sure, yeah.
But so that means a lot. But then he turns around and he's like, hey, I hope that didn't come across as me just trying to be nice or brown nosing you. I couldn't remember what he said, but he starts apologizing.
Right, for being so nice.
For the compliment. I'm like,
it's so nice that it seems suspicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And
I was ulterior.
And I was like, wow. I was like, what a G. Like, because yeah, like I can see like getting a compliment. It's like, wow, is this guy just trying to like,
Right.
But like, I don't know, dude. I was like,
That's so funny.
I was like, wow, this guy he's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, this guy is super nice, man. No, but it meant a lot. Like
Yeah,
he wanted,
of course.
he wanted to compliment me, but he also wanted me to know that he was being genuine about it. I was like, damn, like that's because you can say like, dude, I think you're so good, and I genuinely mean that, and it's like cool. But it's like the fact that he took a beat and he's like, did that come across as patronizing? Because I really meant it, and it's like, wow, damn, okay. I like that. Yeah. Anyway, so I told him, I was like, dude, no, let's hang out. Let's like chill and get some coffee or some shit and talk about music. Dude. Or we can do it on here.
We can do it on here.
Anyway, dude, well, this has been sick.
This has been a lot of fun.
Is there anything else that you wanted to mention or anything like...
No, I don't think so. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope I've made your commute or your workout a little easier. But
I want to. Actually, I did have a question.
Yeah.
That I just thought of that I forgot to ask you, but I just want to know. I try to ask this to everybody, and it's because I think about like what was like one of the first like songs that really was like made you like, oh dude, I want to play music. Like when you heard it, like the first, like when you heard it, you were like,
I gotta play this song.
Like, or I don't know if it's like I want to play the song, but it's like I want to play rock music, or it's just like I don't know. Like
I have my answer, and it's really embarrassing.
Oh, let's hear it.
It was probably, if I'm being honest, probably Piano Man.
No way.
By Billy Joel.
That is in no way embarrassing at all. Are you serious?
Yeah, well, I was like
Billy Joel is
6 or 7 years old, but like I was like, oh my god, this is like, you know what I mean? I didn't really get what he was talking about, but even then I could tell like this is a serious song. Yeah. This is like a cultural song. Like he is tapping into the deeper zeitgeist here, right? And like in a way of like the human condition.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so brilliant.
Well, I know it's actually weird because I was first exposed to that song when I was really young too. I was probably like maybe 12 or 11. Right. I probably wasn't as young as you, but I'm like 11 or 12 and I hear this song and I want to cry. And it's like, it's amazing that he is able to communicate what he's communicating in that song, even if you have no life experience.
Even if you're a kid and you've never worked at a bar or play the piano, or you're not a waitress practicing politics, you're not the businessman getting stoned, you're not the failed actor.
You're like hearing this as like a 12-year-old and you're like, oh God, I get it.
I get it, exactly.
I get it, Davey, who's in the Navy. That's me. I missed out on life. You're like fucking 12.
Exactly.
No, it's dude, Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
I mean, I could go on a tangent. I just listened. This was recently. This is kind of embarrassing. Just recently, I listened to the whole Stranger album from front to back because I'd never done that before.
I don't know if I've ever done that before. Not the whole thing.
Well, dude, he's just incredible. I mean, as a songwriter, for someone who's interested in songwriting,
yeah.
Dude, I wanna. I'm like, I need to listen to more albums back to front. That's something that Nick and I have been trying to do intentionally, where it's like I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna listen to a whole album.
It's the best in my opinion. The best songwriters are not like, obviously, what's a good songwriter? Oh, they're really beautiful prose, really evocative imagery, really things like, and of course that's included.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best songwriters are like very economical with their words. You know what I mean? They're like really, really good at getting across a ocean of emotion in a single phrase or syllable or whatever. And not necessarily just in delivery. I mean, like in terms of like the structure of the lyrics. Yeah. And that's something I really, really admire about songwriting.
Yeah, if you can say something really profound in a couple words, I mean, that's huge.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Exactly.
Dude, all right. Well, why don't we cut it there?
All right.
Well, hopefully I won't have too much I have to edit because that's always the worst part.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I didn't. I know we rambled for a bit, but that's authentic to us. Don't take that out.
It is. I will not. All right. Cool.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.